Hey there. I just wanted to show you a little bit more on this color mixing stuff. I would say the absolute best way to learn it is just play with your paints. Paint with them and you'll learn it as you go. It's kind of second nature for me, but we're going to do a little bit of, I'm going to just kind of show you kind of what I'm explaining here on how to mix your colors. So we're going to just start with red and white and black. We're just going to see, because this can go on and on forever, right? Color mixing does not end. So I do have extra brushes here. Normally I don't use but one brush, but I don't want to be having to clean my brushes a lot. Let's see. So we're going to start with, this is what we're going to do. We are going to do red. This is why I'm using more than one brush. Plus white. Can't really see that. I'm just using watercolor paper here. And then black. So these are the three colors we're going to mix together in this. So I'm going to lay these all here. I'll make this even a little fancy here so we know we are doing red plus white plus black. So those are the colors we're going to do. Where's your white? All right, so we're starting with straight red. So you can just practice on paper. Does not have to be any kind of fancy paper. Something a little thicker though than just copy paper. So each time, and I'm going to just stay with this brush, I'm going to add, I've just picked up a little bit of white, maybe more than I needed to. So obviously if you add white to red, you're going to get pink. Let me bring this down a little closer. Hang on here. Okay, I have a little bit more white. It wasn't a lot more, so I'll just put. My thing with paper is you have to work quick because if you're blending anything, it dries quick. So now we're getting a little lighter. And I may run out of room before I get really light, but let's see how many. Let's see if we can do 8. What's the word I'm looking for? It'll come to me. I'm in paint mode, not think mode. Wipe my brush off a little bit. I have to clean 1, 2, that's 7. Didn't space them very well. That one's about the same as the last one. So I'm going to take this brush that just has white on it. Make that one super light. And then use the back side. And there's my white. So there's 8 of those values. There you go. Color value. All right, so let's just go ahead and take black, and we're going to do the same thing. So we have black, right, first, then we have black and a little bit of white. I have to wipe it off a little bit, otherwise that black will just stay dark. It won't get really lighter. And I'm not mixing a puddle together. That would be very wasteful for what I'm doing, to just mix a bunch of paint, because then I would have all this paint mixed together, and I'm just practicing going lighter and lighter just by adding a little bit more white each time. At some point I'm going to have to kind of get some of that black off. And I think I'm going to have to squeeze a little bit more white because it's getting too close to the pink and I'm not adding the red to this yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, one more. I didn't line them up very well, did I? I was trying to make them more centered, and then I got two. Whoops, that should be white. Yes, it should be. Well, so let's find my white brush. This last one should have just been, that's a super light gray. Let me see if I could just get some straight white. Start getting your brushes dirty, it's hard to maintain the, there we go. All right, so that's 9. I was trying to do 8. So let's see if we can even these out. Okay, so now we're gonna go, okay, so what happens when we add red and black together? I don't know which direction this thing's gonna go. This is not my expertise as far as like having an actual method for color mixing. I just color mix. So again, we started with red, and I'm going to add black to it. Trying to get about half and half is really what I want. Now you can have more black than red, you can have more red than black. It can go on forever. So if we do more black than red, it's going to really make it a dark red. Okay, then I'm going to add red again, and less black. So now I'm just grabbing red and not more black to make these reds lighter and lighter. There's not going to be white in this. That needs to be more red. And then we should get back to pretty much a straight red. So this red looks kind of burgundy. Sometimes if you really mix it, then you start adding white into it, you're going to get like purple. All right, so there's my reds. Okay, so now if we came down, these are dry, so if we came down again, like we add white to that, you're going to get a lighter red, right? You're going to get a pink. I'm just using 3 colors in here. You can do the same thing with your blue and white and black and your yellow and white and black, and just play and see what you get. So we're going to start adding, I'm going to go start back with black and red. And I'm going to start adding white to it. I want to make sure you can see that that's not straight black. This gives you all your different colors of black too, because you don't always need just black. Let's see, I got white there. Okay, so I'm going to take, I probably need a little more red though. Okay. So I'm going to take black and red again, like I just did there. And then I'm going to add a little white on top. You can tell it's a different color. I can't see really well what color it is. It's starting to get kind of a purpley color. You can kind of see it that way. See the purple shade in it? Okay, so red and black. A little less black. than the last one. A little bit more. So we're doing all three colors together, which is a little tricky. I can't tell you the exact ratio. I'm just trying to go a little bit lighter each time. Like my red and black ratio is changing, obviously. So like I said, this can go on endlessly. And so if you look at these last two I just did, this one has more red in it. This one's a little bit more purple. So it's not like it's 50-50 red, 50-50 red, or 50-40 red, or 40% black, 50% red. It's not, I don't know that. I'm just adding. So now I'm just gonna, what I have in my brush, keep adding white to it. You see how it looks more of a lavender? Who knew you could make purple? Let me get that one a little lighter. But who knew you could make purple with red and black, right? And then this one really should be a lighter color. Okay, so there is all that just from these three colors. This could go on and on and on, because like if I mixed these two, it's going to be different. Let's see where else I can go with this. Just really depends on your ratio of red to black. That's really where you're kind of getting down to. So this is a darker red, doesn't have as much black in it as those, but we can still get that lighter each time and see if it looks different than the last ones. So there's still some black in it, but it's not as much. Too light, too quick here. Putting a little bit darker in there. So sometimes I'm just wiping my brush off to get the excess out. And I rinse it for these last two because I really need it to get pretty white. Little bit of color, not much. Okay, so see, those are all different than the last row. So this had more red, that one had more black. Let's see if we can do and how far we can stretch this. It really is limitless on the colors, even just from these. But like I said, it all has to do with, see, that might be about the same color as that, but it all has to do with the amount you put in it. I'm going to add a white on my plate. These are not getting really any lighter. These look a lot the same as this row. They're just kind of lighter shades. They probably should not have gotten that light that quick. Starting to look like a lot like the last row. So when you, I don't think you could ever make every single color exactly. Or just a few with just this many, you know, rows or whatever. But when you start feeling like you're just kind of still circling back around and making the same colors, so those look like almost identical on those two rows. Let's make it a little grayer. That would make it a little different. Let's see if these are still wet enough to just add a little bit more black to these. So it's more of a grayer pink color, purple color. So that's a little different. So it's not straight gray. I'll show you up close in a second. Whoops, this should have been just white. It's not straight gray. This is gray up here. These are not. This should be almost white here. But my white's in. That's close enough. Okay, so let me show you. So see, those are more of a gray pink. So now we got, definitely we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of 8 across, except that this one, that was 8. 8 across, well, counting that white down here is 9. That one's got white there, that's 9. That could have gone lighter. We didn't go very light with that one. That kind of takes off there and almost goes from there. So anyways, we have 48 different shades of color just using red plus white plus black. So that's how you do that. Do you want me to do another combination? I can. I'm going to just flip this over and let's just do another one since I'm sitting here. I got to clean my brushes though. Oh, and splatter water all over. Okay, let's do, this is a fun one. We'll do yellow and black and white. It's always like a surprise for people to see what yellow does. Kind of sounds boring, but it's not really. And then I'm going to let you continue after this. I'll let you do the blue and white and black. You can do yellow and red and black and white. You can start adding more and more colors to it. Okay. So we are doing, for this one, we're going to do yellow plus white plus black, like a bumblebee. Okay, hang on here really quick. This marker doesn't work very well, but good enough. Okay, yellow plus black, or white plus black. Okay, so we're going to start with straight yellow. See if I can line these up better, huh? Yellow, we're going to just add a little white. So they start getting a little lighter. I'm going to try to do 8 shades. If I can fit them so they fit right. Kind of going too quick here. Let me a little bit more yellow on that one, a little bit more yellow on that one. Just is really washed out. Okay, this is going to be barely yellow. That Last one looks a little barely yellow. I'm going back and adding a little bit more yellow to each one. There. Okay, so now the last one is just straight white. Okay. All right, so now what do we do next? We did black and white, so I'm not gonna, well, so I guess it's always good practice. This is such a good thing to know because paintings need to have a good, I already forgot the word, goodness sakes. They need to have, for a good composition, you need to have a good contrast between your lights and your darks. So your value is the measurement of how much light or dark, how the difference between, it's going too quick, between the very darkest shades to the very lightest shades. It's almost like a measurement. And so having a good contrast between your lightest shades and your darkest shades really gives good value, not monetary value, value as far as your composition on your lights and darks to really create a good painting. So a lot of times we want to paint just with these colors in the middle and we don't do the really lights and the really darks. Oops, I did not mean to make that one darker. I was trying to blend it. That one should not be that dark. That should be like a barely there gray. That one should be a little bit darker. Okay, that looks good. All right, so now let's go back to our yellow. I'm going to clean the yellow and the white out. Should have got another paper towel. Okay, so now we're going to go yellow and black. This is kind of fun. This one will be fun. Yellow and black. Not very exciting yet, is it? Can you see a color in there a little bit? Okay, so we're gonna just starting with, I guess we're kind of starting with black with a little bit of yellow in it. That would have been a better way to do it. Okay, so now I'm gonna add more yellow on my brush. Every time I put a little bit more yellow. You see what we're getting here? I kind of have to mix it a little bit while I paint. Like I said, this will dry on here pretty quick. Black starting to come to the surface, but we're getting these shades of this really green, yellowy green. And this is a mixture I use often in florals and landscapes because I like very natural looking. And it should just go straight yellow at the very end. Ta-da. Okay, what do we do on the next row? We still did. Just started out with maybe, so that was more black. So this time we'll start with more yellow and just a little bit of black. It may just end up being a I think this one's going to be a little bit more challenging too. We'll just add white to this. We'll go that way. So I want it dark. I need more yellow and more black. So we're gonna, with this last row I'm gonna do, I'll let you keep playing, see what all you can do with it, but I'm just gonna start adding white to this now. And we'll see where we end up with it. So I do want red and yellow, yellow and black for my first one. And then I'm just gonna add white each time to my brush. And you start getting another shade of green. Again, it's a green I love using for florals and landscapes because it feels more natural. And then almost makes the gray up at the top look like blue. Oops, I didn't get that very clean. Let's see. There's a little bit too much gray in that one, but you get the idea. So anyways, all right, so there was 2. Like I said, you can go, we did 2 more rows of combinations of color. You can go on and on and on with this. But anyways, there you go. And I will see you next time.